one called the successor of Bruce Lee, the heir to the essence of Chinese martial arts and the symbol admired by the world. But behind the glory wasn't a fame drive, a martial artist who trained in silence and a man who fought all his life, both against opponents and against his own taste. This is a story of Jet Li, the real hero among heroes on screen. Let's begin.
Jet Li was born into a poor family. His father passed away when he was only 2 years old. From an early age, he learned the meaning of lack. Lacking a father, lacking money, but never lacking determination. At just 8 years old, he was selected for China's national Wushu team, beginning a brutal journey of training forged through blood, sweat, and tears. Every single day, hundreds of falls, thousands of strikes, and endless hours of relentless practice without rest. In just a few short years, Jet Li achieved the unthinkable. At the age of 11, he became China's national martial arts champion, the youngest in history. But what truly earned respect was not just his strength, it was his discipline, humility, and rare, calm presence. In 1982, when he stepped onto the screen in Shaolin Temple, audiences didn't see an actor playing a martial artist. They saw a real warrior living the way of martial arts. Every spin, every glance, every breath carried a deeper philosophy. Martial arts are not meant to defeat others, but to conquer oneself. From that moment, the name Jet Li echoed across Asia, then crossed oceans into Hollywood. With Fist of Legend, Once Upon a Time in China, Hero and Fearless, he became more than an action star. He became the face of Eastern martial arts on the world's cinema screen. Jet Li was born on April 26, 1963, in Beijing. In 1990, he divorced his first wife, Huang Qiuyan. In 1999, he remarried Nina Li Qi, Miss Asia and a famous Hong Kong actress, and later had 2 daughters together. The peak of fame is often the moment when the greatest price must be paid. When the name Jet Li stood at the summit of martial arts cinema, the world saw an invincible legend. But behind the spotlight was a body scarred by injuries and a soul silently enduring pain. On set, he refused stunt doubles. Every fall was real. Every impact was real. Broken bones, dislocated joints, spinal injuries. There were moments when death was only a breath away, yet none of that compared to the greatest tragedy of his life. In 2004, Jet Li was in the Maldives with his family during a trip that combined rest and humanitarian support. Without warning, a devastating tsunami struck. In the chaos, towering waves swallowed everything. Jet Li and his 2 daughters were nearly swept away by the water. No martial arts, no special effects, no second take. For the first time, the man who had defeated hundreds of enemies on screen faced the reality of human helplessness before life and death. That near-death moment changed Jet Li forever. After the disaster, he began to re-examine his entire life. Fame, wealth, glory suddenly felt insignificant next to family and life itself. From that point on, Jet Li gradually stepped away from the film industry. He made fewer movies, no longer chasing physically demanding action roles. Instead, he devoted his time to meditation, charity, and inner cultivation. He founded humanitarian organizations, helped victims of natural disasters, and shared messages of compassion and awareness. Jet Li once said a simple line, yet one shaped by a lifetime of reflection. "I defeated hundreds of opponents on screen, but the hardest enemy to conquer is the ego within myself." And perhaps That was the greatest battle of the legend known as Jet Li. After stepping away from the lights of Hollywood, Jet Li no longer chased fame or applause. He chose a quieter, simpler life, one without red carpets, without roaring crowds, where a man finally stands face to face with himself. Years of brutal training and countless injuries left deep marks on his body. Illness slowly weakened his physical strength. His steps were no longer swift, his movements no longer as sharp as before. Yet in a strange paradox, as the body grew weaker, his spirit became stronger and more awakened than ever. Jet Li turned inward. He embraced meditation, silence, and reflection. He learned to let go of the ego that the world once praised as a living legend. He came to understand that the hardest battle in a person's life is not fought on a stage or a battlefield, but within one's own heart. In 2007, he founded the One Foundation, not to build an image, not to preserve a legacy, but to transform his near-death experiences into compassion for others. From earthquake-ravaged lands to victims of tsunamis and floods, from forgotten rural communities to those trapped in extreme poverty, the One Foundation has brought aid and hope to millions of people in their darkest moments. No cameras, no spotlight, no applause, only empathy and a deep understanding of human suffering. Jet Li is no longer the on-screen hero defeating enemies with fists and kicks. He has become a true hero in real life, healing wounds with kindness and humility. He once said that the highest level of martial arts is not speed nor power, but compassion and awareness. And perhaps the greatest legacy Jet Li leaves behind is not his iconic films, but a quiet truth he lived by. True strength is not measured by how many opponents you defeat, but by how many lives you help rise again. This is the story of a man who conquered the world, and then chose to conquer himself.
Famous film, Romeo Must Die, 2000. His first leading role in Hollywood. Kiss of the Dragon, 2001. One of the most purely martial arts-driven action films of Jet Li. Cradle to the Grave, 2003. Fast-paced, hard-hitting action with a gritty street style. War, 2007. Facing off against Jason Statham. Two action icons collide.
Today, Jet Li no longer performed his kick on screen, but he remained a symbol of martial arts and unwavering superiors. For him, a true hero is not the strongest, but the one who conquered himself. Like, share, and subscribe to join us in honoring living legends. Thank you and see you next time.